Hey folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to make some earrings using our September Bargain Bead Box. This will be the second pair of earrings we've made with the September Bargain Bead Box, but even though they've got some of the same components, they're going to be quite a bit different. Let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so we have from the Bargain Bead Box, we have some chain. We have the 2 chandelier pieces. Now, my chandelier pieces are a little different probably than yours because one of the pieces was bent, and when I went to try to straighten it, it broke. So I just cut the ends off, and now we just have 3 little loops instead of 5. Now, I would have rather it was these ones that were gone rather than those, but it is what it is. So then we also have 2 of the little go-go charms, which are going to go down here. And we have the tiny crystals and little red beads. So what I'm going to do, let's see, I think I only need a couple of these. So we'll just take maybe 4 out. That's the most I'm going to use of those. Put the rest back in the baggie. And then I'm going to use some of these as well. And I'm thinking I probably want at least 3 per side for those. So I'm going to need at least 1 more. Gotta find the end. Ah, it's right here. So let's see how long of a dangle that makes. We're gonna use our ball head pins. Hopefully these will fit on here with no problem. There's that one. Now if these little ones don't go on, which they look like they're going to go on fine, I was going to say we will just have to use just the crystal. What we're going to do is put this little dangle right here. Like so. So let's get our second dangle together here. Now we have a choice here. We can hardwire this directly in, or we can use jump rings. I'll probably use jump rings. So then these are going to go here. And then we're going to take our chain. Isn't it funny? I've used the chain for earrings more than I have any necklaces or anything. And we're going to bring it from here to around to here. And then we're going to hang our little disc here. So it's going to look like so. So let's get our little dangles made and put in place so we know how much chain we want to use. So I always use my stepped bell making pliers, generally on the smallest, to make my wrapped loops because I like the consistency of them. See how nice that looks? And round and we go, and lollipop. Now, as I said, we could put it right directly on, but I think I'm just going to put them on using jump rings today. So in that case, we want to take this right where the two meet and then wrap this around, looks like we're going to get 3 out of this one. And then we'll want to trim it. Being careful not to get anything extra. And tuck it in. Now be careful when you're tucking. These are glass beads. We don't want to break them. So there's one. Now for the second, we want to do exactly the same thing. Grab it right here where they come together. Switch hands and then wrap. Making sure you get your first wrap way up towards the top, because if you slip, you're going to want to fix that. So that takes 3. And now we're going to trim it off and carefully tuck it in. So now these two are done, and we need to put them on with our jump rings. So let's grab it, jump ring, and open it up with a twisting motion. And I caught the side of that one, so I'm going to need to straighten it a little bit. Then we will put it through our middle loop and put it back in place. There we go. So there's that one in place. Now we'll get the second. Okay. Okay, there's number 2. Now what we need to do is decide how much of the chain we want. So it's going to come around from here and then turn to go back up here, but it's also going to have that little disc down at the bottom, pulling it down. Let's put my finger right there on that so it stays put as I pull this one back up. And I think that's probably about where we want it, right here. Not up here because we're going to have a jump ring on it. So we want it right here on this one, right here. So we'll just trim this baby off right here. And then we're going to need to cut the second one. And to do that, I tend to take and put my bead reamer through the highest one and then just ease down here till we get to the bottom. Discover where we're at and cut it right there. And then make sure they're the same length, and they are, so that's good. So now we're done with our chain. Let me set it up here. Get the little scraps out of our way here. And now we're going to take our jump rings and hook our chain onto here. And I didn't get enough jump rings out because we need a few more, but that's all right. We can get those. But the first thing, we're going to put the chain on now. So we just open our jump ring, Put it in one of the side loops, doesn't matter which one. And back together. Now for the other side. Open our jump ring, grab the chain, come around through the loop and close her up. Now we're going to put our little go-go charm down here. And there's what it's going to look like. Then we'll put our a couple of jump rings up here to put our ear wire on. Now these do have a split. You could open them and put them directly onto here, and I have done so before, and I usually do with the stainless steel. But these softer wires, the gold and the copper, if you open them more than once, they're going to break. So rather than have to worry about that, I'm going to use a double jump ring to hold it up, because we can't use one because it would make the earring go sideways. So it needs two. So I'm going to just put this one on first, and then I'll go get some more jump rings. Just put it on, close it up. My jump rings are right here. So I need one more for this earring, 4 for this earring. Oops, a lot more than I need. So we'll put this second one on here so we can put our ear wire on. Make sure you've got it facing the proper direction, since this is a earring with a front and a back. And there we go. Now I was thinking of putting a bead here, and I may change that and do that still. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to take those off. I will get a little piece of wire, and we will wire up a bead to put in between the ear wire and the little, and since I'm going to do that, I only need 3 of these over here. And in fact, I'll use 2 of those, so I'll only need the 1. So first thing we're going to do is to start the chain. Then we'll take these 2 jump rings off of here. I've only opened them once, so I think it's fine to open them again. You don't want to open a jump ring too many times. It weakens it after a while. So bring it up and around. Come on, baby, drop down. Now we'll get the other ear wire off here. Jumping off here to do that one. And as soon as I get that done, I'll go get some little pieces of wire so that I can, I think we're going to use the 6mm rose quartz up here at the top. Come on, baby. There we go. And I will be right back as soon as I get the wire and the rose quartz piece. And a couple of the rhodonite beads. And, you know, I might want a different rhodonite because I want these to be more similar in color than those two are. I think this next one's probably a nice pink. That's better color. So we will get just a touch of copper wire. We don't need much because all we're going to do is make a loop at the top and a loop to hold onto the chandelier piece with the bead in between. So probably about, this will probably be quite sufficient. And I think this is, oh, it's even probably longer than I need because it looks like it's about 3.5 inches. So we'll cut a second of the same size. No, it doesn't have to be exactly the same size because we're probably going to end up cutting some off anyway. So what we want to do is make our 90-degree angle, then get out our bell making pliers, still going with the lowest, go round and about and bring her around like so. Leave her open a little bit because we're going to hardwire this in. Just pull her into here. Now we're going to hold this right here where they come together and get our second plier and wrap this around. We want at least 2, maybe 3. If you really want them, you could even put in 4 if you wanted, but I'm not going to do that. Carefully trim your excess and tuck her into place. There we go. Make sure she's straight up and down here. Looks good. Drop our bead on. And because we're wanting our loop to go this direction, we want to make sure that we bend it in the proper way so that we don't end up having to twist the head of it, which I have had to do in the past. So 90-degree angle, bring your bell making pliers in, go up and down and around. Now we're going to put the ear wire directly on here. Now, because this has a distinct front and back, we want to feed our ear wire hole through backwards. So it's facing backwards when you first put it on the wire. Because as you go through the loop and come around, you'll then be facing front. So now we want to grab our earring right there at the join, take our pliers and wrap that up right there at the top. And I think this time we may end up making 4. And there we go. I just got to cut the excess loose. Now if it's out of whack, sometimes you'll find your stuff is crooked when you get finished with it. This is the time to straighten it up. See, this was going backwards just a hair, so just bring her forward. And then we'll see, and there she is. Long but very pretty. So now we'll do exactly the same to this one over here. So let's straighten our wire a little bit. Do our 90-degree angle. Get our bell making plier out, up and down and around, and in the lollipop shape, feed on our little charm here. There we go. Grab hold. Now I did 3 wraps on that one, so we will attempt to do the same here. 1, 2, and 3. Trim it off and tuck it in. Now, as you can see, we're a little crooked, so that's all right. Let's straighten her up. There we go. Put on our bead. Now we want to bend it so that it goes this direction. So take hold of it, bend our 90 degrees, get our bell making pliers in, make our loop around, bring her back over here, and get her in her lollipop shape. Now feed your ear wire on backwards. Push it through till it snaps in place. Grab it with the pliers right there at the neck where they come together. Grab it with your other pliers and wrap. Trim the excess off. Making sure nothing extra gets in here. Oh, come on, you. Are my points getting dull? There we go. And tuck her in. And number 2 is finished. Aren't those pretty? Put our tools away. And we have a few extra jump rings we can put away because we didn't use those. But our earrings are all done. Hope you like making those with me. Aren't those pretty? Okie doke, there's our earring that we just finished. Isn't that cute? Let's get our second one. Aren't those pretty? I like those. Those are nice. It's our little shield. Like I said, I had to cut off 2 of the loops because one of them broke off. And prior to that, my plan was to have little bead strands in all 3 of the middle ones, with the chain going around all 3. But since it broke, we improvised. I like them. I think they're pretty. And I hope you liked them too. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden using the September Bargain Bead Box Misty Rose. We'll see you the next time. Bye-bye.